So we called when extra login tasks are finished. Called when extra tasks are failed. That's kind of the thing with persistence in a lot of online systems. If they work, you don't see them. If they don't work, you see them too much. Error, you must be logged in to log out. Fuck. I mean, that actually makes perfect sense to me. You gotta be logged in to log yourself out, right? Because logging out is an actual operation you need to be logged in to do. Alright, so if we go to our platform manager, we're going to need this on login ready call. So virtual bool on login ready. We go to our platform manager, on login success. Yeah, so alright, so if we are a dedicated server, we're just going to return false. Because dedicated servers do not need to load any extra information. Otherwise, we are going to get our profile manager and yeah, we'll return true. So it'll be u-dashkin profile manager, pman, u-dashkin game instance, get profile manager. So if pman is equal to null pointer, return false. Otherwise, pman we should do our load online data. Switch to online mode. Switch to online. And we'll say load now is true. Okay, so load now. Alright, so we're going to call try load online data. Alright, so what we need to do is we need to include our generated service code for this thing. So platform services TCP, we need the Dashkin game data TCP. And let's go take a look at what we actually have available to us. So we're going to call getUserBlob. And we're going to need our delegate. So we'll have to snag the platform. I think this will just be text, nothing. We'll need our request. Showing something on stream? Oh, he's just looking at if there's anything to show off for persistence that people might be interested in, and the big answer to that is no. There's nothing to show off persistence. It's just going to be that things get saved, not that anybody's going to care about it too much. They'll only care if it breaks, right? Let's see, platform manager. So we need the address of our callback function, which is going to be on getUserBlob callback, which we need to make. So what does our delegate look like? Let's go to this delegate. Yeah, things that work are definitely inconspicuous. That's the hope. Alright, so we need an F platform call result. Isn't that supposed to be a reference? Not a... Let me check on that. Maybe I can't have it be a reference. So let's forward declare these. Remember, forward declarations don't work. It's impossible to use forward declarations. So let's see, where is our game? It's set contexts. No, we have a game blob array thing here. Hurrah. Okay, so the context to load are the different contexts, right? So alright, so let's add all of this. Yeah, I would normally point to things to be like, hey, that purchase flow where you clicked on the thing and it bought it and spent all your money, that you didn't see anything when that happened, that was me. That's that's my contribution to this project. Alright, so otherwise the platform needs this on extra login tasks failed. Lots of null pointer checks just because we need them. Okay, so we'll have all that switch to online mode, load now. If the error is there, then we need to call on profile data loaded with false and result.reason. Otherwise, we have fetched our data, so we'll parse the responses, and then we call onProfile data loaded true, and just an empty text. So what we need to do is basically, since we're using our online data, we'll just reset all of our information here. And we need to go through for game, game blob. We can't switch off the strings, so we'll just do it this way. So this will be blob get blob data, and let's do a bool error, loading error equals false. We'll just say loading error equals true, and so if loading error, otherwise we're fine. False, and we'll say failed to load online data, failed to parse online data. Alright, so that should set all that up. This should be context. The other thing we need to do is we need to save our data. So if we fail to load it, what's going to happen? We're just going to fail to log in, and stuff's going to get all screwed up. So that's a bit of a problem because it's not going to fix itself if there's like a serialization error. So if there's a serialization error with our data, what do we want to do about it? So this would be like a data format change that comes in, and we cannot deserialize your information. If we tried to fix the data, we might actually blow your data away, so we'd be deleting everything about you. So that's probably a really bad move if we just like, okay, well, we failed to load it, so let's just save default information. Congratulations, you finished logging in and everything you've ever done is deleted. That's a pretty bad user experience. Probably the most safe way to do it is to just have it be unable to log in with failed to parse online data, and then somebody goes on the forums and is like, dude, my account's fucked up, and then I can go look at that and fix it. So that's what we should do. Okay, the next thing we should do is this save user blob. So save, so on save user blob callback. We'll say pending online save is false. All right. Online dirty, we'll set that to true, and we'll also set our last time to right now, and the min save time is going to come in and save us from denial of service attacking our own servers. Alright, so the thing that we need to do is we need to create a user blobs request. Alright, so we're going to need a T array of game user, I guess game blob pointers. So we'll need to make 2 of those guys. So we're going to need our JSON here. This is cutscene blob, yeah. Yeah, that's just a bad thing to happen. If we can't serialize it, then we're pretty much hosed. But we'll do what we can. So mission data, so f mission blob. This will be m mission data. So we'll add those to our request, and then it's basically this delegate system. So this will be save user blob. We'll get our platform. All right, so sending save request. So we need to just add this guy to our callbacks, our header, Board declarations. Alright. Let's see what we got then. See, we're connecting to the test environment, which is good. The test environment has this information on it. And I'll be right back. Did we add to the platform this finish call? Doesn't look like we did. Alright, so the other things that we want to do are we want to call clear data. Clear profile data. Alright, so clearing our profile data. I'm going to call reset on these things, right? I'm blind. I know, non-static, non-static. Sorry if there's a studio, just hold on. Okay, so if we are using our online profile, then we will try to save our online data. Otherwise, we're going to call save local data. And what are our events? So we need to hook up our events as well for anything listening for our profile information changing. Alright, so try save online data, try load online data, and we load it there. So we want the try load local data, save local, fetch or create local mission data. There we are. So we should now be able to do all the things with our data. We of course don't have any functions that allow us to mark things as watched or something like that, but we'll get there. So we're getting there. So what are some of the operations that the profile manager will want to do? Basically, we're going to have that we have finished a mission, right? That we've watched a cutscene, things like that. So closing in, basically what we need to do is I could use events or I could just use static functions. I think I'll use static functions. I like those more in events to bind these things directly together. If I was in a larger project, I'd probably do some sort of event-based thing, such as cutscene watched event gets fired, right? And then you just listen for the cutscene watched event, and then you'd like queue up a save for that information or some bullshit, right? That's kind of what you do. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to reload the data from local. Alright, so let's do a static void on online lost. So we need to do Dashkin platform profile. So if we have lost our online connection, have a good feast. If we lose our online connection, then what we need to do is load our local data, right? It's kind of this is not a static method. Alright, so if pending online load or using online profile, alright, so basically if we get a user block callback and we're not pending online load, we need to ignore the hell out of it. Alright, using online profile, then what we want to do is set pending this is that, this is false, and try local data. Otherwise, we need to cast out all our events. Alright, so basically, if pending online load equals false and using online profile equals false, return. Let's do the things. I mean, that's pretty much what we want to do, right? I think I've got most everything covered here. There might be some race conditions with clicking back and forth and being able to blow up your data or something like that. I don't think we're going to allow that sort of thing to happen. It'd be such as we call... The real issue would be if we accidentally overwrote our data with something else, right? So we load in the information and we save it back and it blows up our local save, right? Alright, so if local dirty and using online profile is false, if online dirty and not pending online save and using online profile is true, and has loaded online data equals true, so we'll just prevent ourselves from blowing everything the hell up. If local dirty and has, and I guess using online profile equals false. Otherwise, we need to say if That's not good. I guess we need to do an HTTP call to save? How do we do that? I mean, basically, if remote's dirty, we can't do anything at this point because we're just shutting down. So we could try to kick off an HTTP request to try to save our online data, but I'm not sure we'll be able to do that. Anyway, let's just ignore that race condition for now. Because we can't fix everything. Well, I think persistence there is going to work then, so I should be able to load my local data and all of that. So let's see what it does. Excuse me. Alright, so we're going to ensure our data root, which is our user data folder. I don't see user data in there. Alright, we've made our directory. Fetch or create local cutscene data, which is going to check if the file exists, which it does not. So we're going to make our new cutscene data, which is empty, and then we will save it. And there's our cutscene data. Alright, and for this guy, we did not find it, so we will save our local cutscene data. Now we need to save our local mission data. It's kind of funny. Walking through your code like this is something not many people do. I was actually very surprised to find this out when I was talking to one guy at Amazon, and I was asking him how he tested stuff because I this was something I assumed everybody does, is that when you actually go sit down and write your code, that you'll walk through the code line by line kind of the first time you're running it and make sure that it actually does what you think it's supposed to do. You know, like you put a breakpoint, you just a sanity check, like, oh, it's doing step 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yes, we're. But actually, that's not something a lot of people do. Because it was basically like this guy had written something that just obviously didn't work, and I was just like, how did this happen? Like you did all these things, you ran these programs. He's like, oh yeah. I'm like, all right. And it hit me. I was like, he doesn't walk through his code, and I was like, this is gonna sound really condescending, I think, but just bear with me a couple minutes. How do you debug programs? Anyway, he's like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, but do you actually walk through the code line by line when you run it? Just to make sure it doesn't do anything stupid? It's like, no. And like, the other guy next to me was just like, oh, Jesus fuck, really? I was like, well, that's what we do. It's just the look from the other guy, who, I've been working with for quite a while at that point. He's just like, fuck. Oh, because obviously I think he was making the same assumption too, that's just what people do. Alright, so save local mission data to our file. Missing data. Yeah, missing data is the name of that. There we go. How do you spell mission? Mission doesn't have an O in it. Remember that. Take it to the bank. File does not exist. Mission data. Right file is string. Here's our mission data. Looks correct. Why in the fuck does it have a lowercase m on it? That is so asinine that it does that. Let's go see if we can do something about that. So it's going to be somewhere with the serialization utils. Why? Why? Var name is missions. Standardized case. Property to JSON value. Convert scalar to JSON.